coming out of this box, it's playing a very nice game on my eyes, and it works well. It works well. And looking here on my screen, not only is it a monster, I am actually going to just have the XR1 as a backup, the Camlinks as backups in case I'm going to do some That's all 60 FPS, but it also supports 1920 by 1080. What? What up, techies and gamers? It's your boy Jermaine with Tech Toys and Gaming, the channel where you get your daily dose of technophilia, right? A little bit of technology addiction, as well as information and tips and tricks. And in today's video, I have something that's actually quite nice, and it is the Kuhaimi 4K video capture card. Now, if you have been following my channel, if you are a subscriber or a stalker, you just watch my stuff randomly, then you will see that I have actually reviewed quite a few capture cards, some of good name brands like the Elgatos, as well as some no-name brand manufactured Chinese capture cards. And this is the box, techies and gamers, that this specific video capture card comes in. The plug and play nature of the way this just worked with OBS, right? Nothing to do, plugged it in, and it automatically installed the drivers and launched OBS, and it is capturing my video feed here at 2560 by 1440p resolution, 60 frames per second. This is already looking sweet, creamy, and cheesy. We're plugging this in, and off first impressions, just by how plug and play this is already better performing off the bat without it having to actually have anywhere located on the box itself stating it's OBS certified, like the XR1 Lite, which gave me a world of hate. Yes, a world of hate, not headache. I can't speak to the XR1 Pro, but the Lite, yeah, I still have it. I still use it because I put so much work to making it work that I refuse to just give it up, because now I have it working good and I'm going to keep it as a secondary card. But I think with this introduction of this new card here, that is going to be my new go-to. Let's go through some of the things that it actually has to offer and some of the things that it doesn't, some things that can be improved upon. So let's jump right into the hardware. First and foremost, techies and gamers, let's whip our finger right there. So start off looking at the build itself, the physical makeup. It is 100% plastic, but it also has a nice little, I guess, gamer design to it. Has a metal look to it. Has this clear glossy black covering over the top. Has some red LEDs. The LED is not just a light itself, it serves a function, right? So if it's not connected, making any video connection to any video source, it will flash abruptly on and off. Abruptly. The red LED on the actual device itself will flash rapidly if it's not detecting any video source, just straight on and straight cut off. When it's actually in use and it has a video feed going through it, it will gradiently go from on to off. So that's how you know what the light function is for, what it's doing. And if it's off, obviously it is just not plugged in. So it has nice ventilation ports on the bottom. I do like the feet, the rubber grips, grommets on the bottom. Nice little thing for holding on in case it slides from doing nothing. What? Of course, has its HDMI in and out for pass-through, right, and for recording, as well as a USB-C 3.1 Gen 2. Check the specs on that to make sure. So it is in fact a USB 3.1 port on this particular device. So you're gonna get yourself some nice speeds. You don't have to worry about any lag or any sort of data not going fast enough through this device. So yeah, that's a nice plus to have. A lot of these capture cards that I've utilized, including the Camlink Elgato, these are just 3.0 USB ports. Also, yeah, you're getting a little bit more faster speeds on what? The device also has a microphone as well as an audio input output, right, for monitoring. You can actually plug in your headset to this device and stream and game on the fly if you wanted to use your mic and audio with the device itself. You just have to go into your settings on your machine and make sure that your computer is actually listening to this device, so that way you'll be able to capture the audio properly. But techies and gamers, the real shining component of this device is its performance. its resolutions it supports, and the frame rates. These are looking quite sweet, at least on paper, and it's looking sweet right here on screen as I'm recording. This is, just looking at it, is a straight up 60 FPS. I have no doubts about that. This is super clean. So starting from the top, this thing does a true 4K 60 pass-through. So if you have a Xbox Series X, PS5, PS4, does PS4 do 60 4K 60? Let me know in the comments. I don't know if that was doing 4K 60. My theory is that it was not. And if you have a Nintendo Switch, of course, running at 1920 by 1080, it will capture or pass through 1920 by 1080 60 FPS. But this is something where all the true gamers in the techie and gamer world out there is going to be happy with this device, is that it supports 2560 by 1440p resolution. That's right, doing pass-through as well as 2560 by 1440p 60 FPS recording, totally annihilating the XR1 EVGA capture card, right? The XR1 Lite, that is. That does not even do 2560 by 1440 of any kind. Recording, pass-through, nothing. It just jumps straight from 4K 60 pass-through, 4K 30 recording to 1920 by 1080, right? That whole spectrum beneath that is just non-existent. I've done a review on that video capture card. If you want, you can check the link right there. It'll take you to it and you'll be mad. What? So this has already, in my book, jumped leaps and bounds ahead of the XR1 just by that factor alone, just by that resolution and frame rate support at that resolution alone. But there is another jump and leap that this card does better than the XR1 Lite does, better than the Camlink does, and that is that it does 1920 by 1080 120 hertz pass through as well as 120 FPS recording. Oh, in your face. That's right, in my face, because I haven't had a card that does this yet. For the price it's coming in at, I believe I got it for about 110 bucks, little Amazon coupon there. And that is bang for your buck, techies and gamers. So if you are looking for a budget capture card, I would categorize this as budget. It is a little bit over 100 bucks or at 100 bucks, depending on the discount you get. But related to the performance, it has 4K 60 pass-through, 2560 by 1440 pass-through at 60 FPS. It also records at that resolution at 60 FPS, 1920 1080, 120 hertz, 60 FPS. This thing is a little bit of a sneaky beast. What? I don't know what that is. This is a monster when it comes to performance. Not only that, but the color replication here, the reproduction looks pretty sweet as well. I do like the heightened levels of contrast. I do like the color. The color looks pretty much the way it looks when it comes out of my DSLR camera here. All right, techies and gamers, and final verdict is that this device is probably the best bang for your buck right now at 100 bucks or so, right? Looking at the Camlink 4K, its performance is good. It doesn't do a lot of the resolutions that this does, 2560 by 1440p, 60 FPS. It doesn't do 1920 by 1080p, 120 FPS. So this has the advantage on that. The 4K Camlink also doesn't do any pass-through, right? It's just straight up connectivity from your Switch to your PC, and you can record and stream with that. This has the input-output function, HDMI connections, so you can actually do that 4K 1920 2560 resolution pass through and just keep it plugged in all the time, and just always have your device, whether it's your Switch, your Xbox, your PS4, 5, always passing through and always available for gameplay, always available for recording without having to disconnect it, pull it out your box, throw it out the window. What? This device is also just straight up plug and play, no tweaking, no anything having to be done to make it work. XR1 Lite with your HDCP lock situation, right? There's none of that with this. It just works, and it works really good, as you can see here, as you can see through some of the gameplay. So yeah, plenty of pros. Cons, it's big, it's a little bulky, but if you really don't care about that the way I don't care about it, I plug it in and I put it to the side, I won't see it, and then you're fine. If you care about the red LED on it being a little bright, and it kind of pulsates as it's being used, then maybe that could be a con. If you're interested in seeing me do a comparison with this card against the XR1 head-to-head battle, or maybe with a cheaper 4K capture card, maybe the Camlink 4K, be sure to subscribe, like, all that great stuff to get more tips and tricks and to really see which of these capture cards is kind of the budget king, which one is the better performing overall in the world, right? Maybe not in the world, but between these cards, then stay tuned for that. But just to get a gist of what I'm talking about with the XR1 Lite, check the video out right here. You can see if it's for you. You can see all the pros and cons and how I went through testing it, and to see some of the hiccups and some of the good components about it, right? Some of the good parts. So yeah, and I'll see you in my next video. Later.